You know what? I just love those little things. Like when Victoria goes, I don't know what's going on here. We're going right back to her at about 7 years old. Right? Did she say it? Did she hear it?
I know.
Like I know the rest of the family. Like I know that could have gone in either direction.
Yes, both ways.
Exactly. That could have gone each of both ways. Dream driven. Oh, fuck it. Let's just tag them in too. Hey guys, welcome
to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun for We.
And welcome back, Victoria, everyone.
On the 3rd of March 2023.
Victoria came back, everyone said.
Now, did I hear you say maybe on your private call with Koroll that maybe it's her birthday?
No.
No. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Why would I say that?
I don't know. I thought I heard something about that, so I was going to say happy birthday.
Let's sing it to anyone. Ready? Let's.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It
Oh,
died. No, don't touch it. Don't get electrocuted on the show.
I know.
Remember the time where Siggy almost died on the show? Siggy. We were shooting with Emmett, and now Victoria wants to die. We
So
just
our
discovered that
battery
the
has
power
a
cord has exposed
wire.
wires.
If I touch it with my toe, I'll probably get fried
Yeah,
live.
that's not good. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Joe Weldon says, nice to see you guys, but not for long.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, where were we with all that?
So, and it's your manifesting questions answered live.
That's right.
So, go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
Go there, sign up for those. You know, the funny thing is, probably 80% of the people that send me questions haven't bothered. And it's like, dude, right?
Hang on. 80% of the people that send you questions.
Yeah, first-time questions, not for the show. Oh. Send me emails. Like, Mr. 20, I got a question about this. Have you done the basics? Well, no.
Oh, I see it. Easymanifestingmethods.com.
Right.
Got you.
It's like, how do I eat Pescetti? Right?
Pescetti.
Anyway, love ya.
Right. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Wait till you see what Beth sent us.
Beth.
She's not like the rest.
I know Beth.
Yeah. She's there when
What'd she send us?
I can't say that. Not on air. Not live now. But later.
Cool. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. Okay, I wasn't paying any attention at all.
You weren't.
I'm just excited that she's here.
Beth sent something.
You should have seen. Like, she came home, like, they danced.
Went ballistic.
I hobbled because I hurt my right foot. Anyway, right foot's getting much better. There's Beth. She's not like the rest.
Hello, Beth.
I bet you've probably had every guy in your life sing you that song.
I've never heard of that song.
That's from Kiss.
I wasn't really into Kiss.
I'll
Their
play it for
makeup
you.
and tongues were just over the top.
Yeah, I met Gene Simmons once. Anyway, ready?
Yes.
Lisa and LaRock.
Yes.
All right. Let's do it, Victoria.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing your manifesting questions answered live from yesterday.
We are.
Yeah.
We're a day late.
So we needed to tag people like Linda, Robin, Koroll.
How do I tag them? They do. Tag them.
Yeah, the people that are watching passively.
Passively.
That's right.
Okay, so the first question today is from Linda in Manifesting Mastery, feeling small.
That's right.
And Linda asks, how to explore size. I tend to slip back to my old state and then feel small. Then move to feeling big, then small again. I don't feel like I'm stretching. It's like snapping back to an old state, similar to a rubber band.
I love this, Linda. This is
you've
really
nailed
cool.
exactly what's going on.
You know, you put it better than I can, and I really love this, right? Because if you're just changing states, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, I change through 3 chosen states all the time, right? One of them I was sad because I couldn't do for the long. No, I could still do it when she wasn't here, right? But here's the cool thing, right? Whenever you stretch, you change, and you really want to stretch to the point where you can't snap back. And that's the thing. You could strain and hurt yourself. Been there, done that. Or you can stretch to the point where you don't go back to the same shape. I'll invite you to Triple D when we do it next, which will probably be April, May. Right? I made
June.
I was, but I made a decision.
You made a decision.
Yeah, I was all depressed while you were gone.
Oh,
I was like Emmett, staring out the window. Galaxy says, "Hey y'all, live? Yes, please." Mm-hmm.
Hey y'all.
That's right.
Hey y'all.
So this whole thing with stretching, like, really, without trying to do what we do in those 30 days, what I'll suggest is this: do things that you normally wouldn't do. Discover who you get to be by doing things you normally wouldn't do. And one of the things we do in Triple D is I've got a little piece of homework, which is basically ask for some ham. Right? In Australia, by the way, this is a great exercise, because in Australia we have this massive moral obligation where if you, hey, would you like to try a sip of my stuff that sucks? And you go, sure, I'll be polite. And then you have to buy $500 worth. Right? It's just how Australians are wired. Right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I really? I am. I when I take her to the outdoor markets, like she won't touch anything because she knows she has to buy it if she does.
Yeah.
Me, I touch everything, including the people. It's just how I am, and they love it, right? So in Triple D, we give this little piece of homework. It's go to the store, ask for a piece of ham, and afterward you say two things. Ready?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't do that.
Look at her.
That makes me cringe. You go up to the deli counter. Oh, can I taste that one, please?
I used to get a whole
Thanks.
meal at Walmart. You know, Walmart had that hot bucket. You don't know about this, but Walmart had the
Walmart's
hot.
easier because
No,
they're
no,
giving
no.
freebies all the time.
No, but they had a hot bucket at the deli, and you could, like, for $12, you could get 3 hot things in a bucket.
Right.
So I'd go up and I'd say, hey, let me try one of them there chicken wings. Let me try one of them other ones. How many chicken wings can I get in my bucket? That other one, the barbecue. Let me try
So
that.
you've tasted 3 things.
Yeah, next thing you know, I'm like 10 wings in, right? But you can have some fun. Do things that you normally wouldn't do.
I really like that.
That won't harm you.
Yeah, I get that because also it's a bit like when you do something different that you've maybe never done before, how there's no old state to refer to. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're not repeating the past
You're playing in
because it's totally
uncharted
new.
territory.
Uncharted.
I'm a fan of uncharted territory. You know, I like when we started seeing each other and getting serious, and I'd call her things like woman, because if you could imagine what went on in the box.
Woman. Like, what?
So one more, ready?
Yes.
Let's reveal why we're going sideways on this. When you feel small, you get serious. When you feel small, you feel like a checker on a checkerboard, or if you get advanced at feeling small, you feel like a chess piece on a chessboard.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I want you to discover you're the dance floor. The dance happens within. So whenever you can go, excuse me, hi. Can I try one of them there pieces of ham, please? Which one? I'd love to say all
Both.
of them. But I'll just say
Yes.
both, right? And after 2, it's like, all right, thanks.
And walk away. I can't do it.
It really. By the way, when you go back next time, they absolutely love you, right? At least they love me. But we'll continue with this, right? Because you notice I'm playing. I'm at play. So, and Dockery, your Gene Simmons is your hero. You're also Gene Simmons' hero, right? So, boom in the room. He didn't tell me that. I didn't know you then, but he was like looking for the guy. But anyway,
Okay.
let us continue. Gene Simmons is pretty cool though. Like the guy's a real fucking genius. I think it's Gene.
Yeah.
Let me know if I'm right.
Okay, thank you, Linda, for your question.
I think Dan Kennedy interviewed Gene Simmons, and you know I love Dan Kennedy. Like if it wasn't for Dan Kennedy, I wouldn't be here. So let us continue. Maybe I'll talk about that. Dan Kennedy
Interviewed Gene Simmons.
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, Gene. See, Gene's more than a tongue. Hashtag that, right?
All right.
Anyway, number 2.
The next question's from Robin in Dream Driven Day. How did you get to Australia?
This is going to be excellent.
And Robin asks, Mr. 20,
Yo,
can you share the whole story about how you got to Australia? Well, maybe that's more of a podcast question. It's probably both.
yes.
I've put together many bits from multiple shows and podcasts, but it's a little bit patchy.
Cool. So there were a couple things, right? So I always say 1 session per wish, 1 wish per session. I didn't know that years ago, but I discovered that's what works, right? And so back when I was studying Dan Kennedy, I'm telling you,
Interviewing Gene Simmons.
interviewing people like Gene Simmons, right?
Yes.
And so Dan was interviewing Gene Simmons and so on and so forth. But somewhere in Dan Kennedy's, it's a miracle. Get the fuck off of that.
Yep.
Right.
Away. Let there be light.
So
God said.
So ready? So Dan said that to do market research, you want to know your market, and I discovered that I had this really amazing capacity to go, fuck that. right? I'm not good at market research. That takes time, energy. I love people. So I figured I'm going to have people. I'm going to outsource, right, Robin? So I'm going to outsource having people do this for me. So to outsource, I put up a little ad that said something like, "Hey, for $97, I'll make a custom NLP recording for you on anything you want. The only thing that I require is we go back and forth with emails 3 times. I'll ask you a question, you give me an answer. I'll ask you a question, you give me an answer. I'll ask you a question, give me an answer. I'll make the recording, but I'll make it in a way that I can resell it to other people." Right? I figured if I did 20 of those, right, that's $2,000.
Hey,
Right? Take me about an hour
in the money.
each, right? So that's $100 an hour, not bad, wages with what I considered back then, right?
Yeah.
And so a fella in Melbourne, Australia, bought one. His name's Mikey, and he gave it to Leanne, and Leanne bought one, and she gave it to Mikey, and then they shared with her. And then she bought one, right? And suddenly I've got this whole group of Forex traders buying this cheesy little offer that I have up, because I'm studying my target market.
And getting their own.
Yeah, so they're all getting their own personalized recording,
Yeah.
right? And other people can buy them. You can buy them to this day if you can find them. I still haven't put them up anywhere yet. Well, I have had them somewhere, but not where you can easily access.
I can't quite remember where.
Right? Oh, I know exactly where they are.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so does people like Koroll, right? So, but here's the fun thing. That started it out. And I say this because I was imagining a couple things way back when. I was imagining feeling at home because I wasn't comfortable where I was living. I was living in the heroin capital of Pennsylvania. I was imagining success in business, right? Boom, and a couple other things. But what happened was, while I'm imagining being at home, living in the heroin capital of Pennsylvania, and imagining doing great in business, this fella from Australia plays his part. This woman in Australia plays her part. Another woman in Australia plays her part. A group of them fly me down here.
Yeah, we all got together for Forex traders.
Yeah, so they rent me for a weekend. I stay for 3 weeks. Next thing you know, here comes the bride, right? That's the short version of the beginning of the story, right? And there were ups, there were downs. There was the whole thing of where I had to leave after 11 months because you have to be here. Well, I'd leave every 3 months, and then I imagined things like getting back into the country safely and smoothly, which was really, really fun. But there were a lot of little imaginal acts along the way, and side adventures and so on and so forth. But the cool thing is that whole thing of what? At the end of the day, what do I want? I want to be with her. I want to build something with her. Because we had this amazing relationship kick off, and it's like, you know what? I could do something with her for the rest of my life. And so here we are. But there's obviously more little bits here and there we could talk about, but that's a great beginning. So
it's a great beginning.
Yes.
Good one, babe.
And anything you want to add in, Victoria?
No, I think that's actually my strawberry bit, remembering all that. But also remember, I love how you said, because it was really sort of vague. You hadn't nailed, feeling home, feeling at home. Yeah. And it didn't matter where it was. You just wanted that feeling of feeling at home.
By the way, I was like a typical American, so I'm going to insult all Americans right now. I didn't even know where Australia was. Right? I know it was surrounded by water someplace down south. Right? I had to look it up.
Over that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over that way. Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I didn't know she existed or here existed whenever I was imagining those things. What I started out was me feeling at home, me being successful, having the impact and income that I choose. Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
So, the reason it will probably be my strawberry bit is because there was no specific. We weren't trying to nail it down, chunk it down to real specific stuff. It was and I think that's where it's easiest in a way.
Totally, absolutely. Wouldn't it be cool if I lived at home?
A general feeling of if I feel.
Yeah, if I felt at home, if I felt safe.
I feel like that.
Yeah. I don't miss having a gun. I used to carry 2. Right, for the better part of 20 years, I was double armed. Right, with ammo. Right, like Joe Weldon and I have talked about this. It's why reload when you can rearm. Right.
Chuck me another. Sounds very Bruce Willis in that.
We love us some Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, excellent.
But I haven't owned a gun since I got here. I could buy, you could go through horrible steps to own one, but I have no interest in one.
There's no need down here.
I feel warm, safe, and dry.
God.
Right? I do own me a knife, though. His name's Jimmy.
He does own a knife. You own a couple of knives.
And his name's Jimmy.
You own a machete
Oh,
that I gave you.
Oh, you put that in the she shed. I'm not allowed
Yeah,
to touch
because
that.
it's for blackberries.
We don't do blackberries no more.
No.
All right. Shall we continue?
Okay, so that was for Lynn. Robin, thank you very much.
That's
for your
right. Notice how
question.
Dan Kennedy worked his way into that one.
He did, and the one before. You're trying to work him in everywhere, are you?
Why not? We'll call this the Dan Kennedy Super Show or something when I put it up on the YouTubes. That way I would get Dan's attention. He's not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
It was close, though. It didn't look good about a year and a half ago.
Ah,
Right.
do you get COVID or something?
Oh, we don't know.
All right. So the next question is from Remarkable Koroll, states within states. And Koroll asks, let's talk about states within states.
This is really good. So there are a couple ways I can approach this. Here's how me and Dan Kennedy and Victoria will approach it this morning, right? Because I do love me some Dan Kennedy. Yes. So when I used to play games like entering the state of Stephen King, right? And so I produced like the first version of the Free Neville site. Yeah, because I'd just roll. Yeah, I'd get in a state of Stephen King, and I'd roll like 40 little soldiers, and I'd smoke 40 little soldiers by lunchtime, and have a bunch of gibberish on the paper, right? But it's sort of like the state of Stephen King had its own wishes, right? So the state of Stephen King, writer, has a wish to complete like writing that's effective, writing that does something to people, right? So like radio, literally, get it? Radio.
Right.
Radio, right? And so the state of writer, Stephen King, has wishes like write an article, write another article, write another article. So I'd get 2-3 articles done by the time she'd get home for lunch, right? Then I'd spend the afternoon editing the damn things. But it's sort of like the state of Dan Kennedy, marketer. Yeah, has its own wishes. Or so like states within states. So the state of marketer has its own wishes. Like, for example, the state of... Yeah, the podcast is put out by 2 states. We could literally say, and today's Neville Goddard podcast is brought to you by the state of marketer and the state of happy loving teacher. Because in every episode I market and I teach. It's just what I do. So that's the fun thing, right? Right, EO. Dr. Brian, welcome to the show. So that's one of the things that I notice. And so for you guys that are doing Joseph Goddard to the max somewhat correctly, I'll give you a secret to that. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I give me status. One of my statuses, by the way, normally she's asleep as I'm waking up, or she's busy, right? So she's either using the throne or else she's snoring, right?
Yes.
And so here's the really, really cool bit, right? So when the first thing I'm doing when I wake up is I'm noticing... Okay, cool. I'm noticing that the state of happy and loving teacher is the first state I enter into. And then the state of happy and loving teacher imagines up the podcast, your orders, the show, so on and so forth. So that's where we play there. So again, you'll notice a state has these other wishes. So there's a wish to get in the state of identity. Then that identity state has activities that it gives life to. So this may show up in our state stacking program. More to come.
State stacking.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that was for Remarkable Koroll.
Angela Teresa, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for your question, Koroll.
All right.
Oh, Robin's got a couple in here, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's allowed.
All right.
It's her 1-year anniversary with us.
Oh, okay then.
All right. Happy anniversary to Robin.
The next question's from Robin in Dream Driven Day. Settle for now? ? Robin asks, should you ever settle for now?
What does this possibly mean?
I don't know. You recently did a podcast for a group member who wanted a house. You explained that she shouldn't settle for an apartment, but an apartment might be part of her transition. I didn't want to get a job right now because I want to fully focus on my business. But should I get one anyway until my business blooms? Or would that make it take longer?
Great question. So way back in the old days when I took on a couple temp jobs, because I did temp jobs as running the restorative nursing department, doing the activities at the old folks' home, selling smart cards. I was part of the team that brought smart cards into the U.S. of A. Hoo-ha. Right? That kind of dumb shit. It was a lot of fun. And so when I was doing temp jobs, one of the things that I noticed was I was living from the state of not being goddamn homeless, right? And literally, that's it. I'm just being really blunt. The state of someone who pays their bills, because when I was living from the state of I pay my bills, right? That had me take on some temp jobs. Now the cool thing is, while I was taking on my temp jobs, I was still studying people like Dan Kennedy, right, and building my business online, because the whole idea of like learning something in execution took me a little while to learn things and execute, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like I was selling out on the job, or selling out on the business. It was like, you know what, I want to have a home. Like it's hard to build an internet business when you don't have internet, right? So basically I did those kinds of things. So I wouldn't, I'm not a fan of settling for anything, but I'm also a fan of just noticing what identities can I give life to, because there was a point where I had to borrow $1,000 from my dad to pay our yearly property taxes. They were pretty cheap in the heroin capital of the world, right? Well, the heroin capital of Pennsylvania, right? It was like $880. And I was behind on something like the electrics or something like that, which was pretty cheap in that part of the world. But it was like I borrowed $1,000 from my father. Under the terms, the terms were I'd pay him back in a year. I paid him back in 3 months. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, and I will never do this again." Right? Nothing against my dad, but it was like, rightio, I'm doing what it takes to swing my own fucking bat.
Yeah.
And so taking on the temporary jobs to do that, now here's the cool thing. Here's the parameters for me to have a temporary job. I imagined every temporary job that I got paid the bills and gave me skills. And then I found myself working in an old folks home, and working the old folks home in a different capacity, and then working for the banking people selling the smart cards. All jobs that I was totally unqualified for. And that was the other side of the coin, because those skills from those jobs helped me with clients to this day. Because working with the smart card technology with hundreds of different businesses gave me exposure to hundreds of different businesses. That helps me when I consult people with business. Working in the restorative nursing, it gave me all sorts of insights as far as the human condition and what happens in therapy, what happens in people's minds as they start to shut down and you need to open them back up. So every one of those temp jobs not only paid the mortgage, but also gave me the room. It gave me the internet service. It gave me the skills to do what I got to do. So great question. I'm glad you asked.
Good one. Excellent, Robin. Thank you.
Excellent, Robin.
Yes.
All right.
And the last question today is from Jess. Dream Driven Day, Jess.
That's right.
Wife versus single girl state.
That's right.
And Jess asks, how could I maintain living naturally as a playful, loving wife when I feel myself returning to the single woman state often in my mind?
Cool. So I've got two different thoughts on this. Number one, right? So you're single now. You'll be married later. You might as well have fun while you're single, right? So you don't have to pit breakfast against lunch, right?
Yeah.
Like some people do that. They go, well, I'm not going to have breakfast because I'm going to have lunch. It's like, right, then they go out to have lunch and they order way too much food and they go home and puke afterwards, right? Not you.
No, I know.
Right. But some people do that. So on the other hand, some other people go, well, I'm just going to have a light breakfast because I'm going out for a big lunch. So you can just play with them as separate wishes. The other thing that I'm wondering is, are you trying to decide between like a Hyundai or a Kia, right? Like for me, they're both shit cars. But are you trying to pick between two different shit cars? I want this, I want that, I want that, I want this. I'm not sure which one I want. It may be that you don't have a desire around either one of them. So and you're trying to make up your mind. Which one do I want? If you're trying to,
right.
And notice the language here. You guys are remarkable. I'm trying to make up my mind about what I want. Right? Your desire is something that shows up as in, hey, wouldn't it be cool? Right? Yeah. How cool would this be? That's the physiology of the desire showing up. Wow, wouldn't it be cool? Versus I'm trying to figure out what I want. I'm trying to make my mind up. Right? It ain't about the mind. The desire comes from your desires are divine in origin. So who's got a Kia or a Honda? Yeah, isn't it funny? Yeah, Double T. Victoria goes, oh, fuck you.
You lost half your audience.
Yeah, you just pissed off half the audience. I mean, hey, let's face it. I do make fun of these things called Kia cars. Because it has alliteration, doesn't it? Kia car.
car.
Yeah, it's like a car. It's a Kia car. All right, and then my friend Fiona gets one at the pool. I was like, oh, good for you. No wonder you can't fucking work it. It's a Kia car. Anyway, and then there's Hyundai, right? It sounds like a haiku. It sounds like that Greek cheese. Why does the Greek
Halloumi.
cheese? No. Saganaki.
Oh, Saganaki.
Yeah, what does Saganaki sound Japanese?
Yeah, it does.
I don't understand these things. Then haikus that are supposed to make you feel at peace, they all sound like machine gun like firing to me. Yeah. People under bridges, drowning in the water. Don't do that.
They're not all like that. They don't drown under bridges.
Anyway, Saganaki. All right, somebody's laughing. That's good. I haven't offended.
Okay.
There's 17 people on the planet we haven't offended alive.
So far, yes.
All right.
So that was from...
When it goes down to 16, we'll know I scored a point.
Oh, that was from Dream Driven Digest.
All right.
Thanks very much for your question,
So we're
Jess.
still at 17. This is a miracle.
Okay.
Heather, welcome to the show.
And so what we'd like to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit.
That's right.
And mine's going to be still that one, and like how your general feeling of being home, this is before anything came up as straight, oh, that's all you wanted, and being successful in business.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, and then taking it from what would I hear probably, and what would I see, and how would I feel, and all of that. And that's what got you here, and that's what ended up, yeah.
Cool.
Both of those coming to fruition.
Exactly.
What was your hashtag strawberry bit?
That I think I worked Dan Kennedy into all of them, except for Jesslyn's final one. That is unbelievable.
Maybe she should marry Dan Kennedy, and then you would have. No, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm sort of let down that I didn't work Dan Kennedy into that one. Anyway, yeah, hashtag Dan Kennedy.
Okay.
Yeah, just for fun.
So that's your hashtag strawberry bit.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
So while you type in your hashtag strawberry bits, go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
Go there, do that, get on those videos, enjoy the daily email, all that stuff. I think we sent out one today. Did I send out one today?
I'll check. I don't think I've seen one. But
All right.
it could be my phone's not in the right place.
In the right place.
Join our 90-day adventure. Oh, no. Sure. What were we saying with that one again? Oh, I'll have to look it up.
Join the 90-day adventure at Manifesting
No, it
Mastery
was
course.
your 90-day adventure.
Your 90-day adventure.
I think that's what it was.
Oh, I got a cramp.
Join your 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. That's where you can watch hundreds more of these. Hey, we're up to 18 people. I wonder if that's because I stopped 19 people. I wonder if that's because I stopped offending people with Kia cars and Hyundais.
Oh, you'll lose them again.
Then it'll look good. Oh, dear. All right.
Okay. All right, you guys. Have a great day.
Have a lovely day, everyone.
Weekend. And we'll catch you next week.
That's right. See ya.
See ya.